John Elway, Peyton Manning, Pete Sampras, and other sports icons went out on top. Isn't that what every athlete dreams of? Sadly, however, there are many great athletes who have depressing ends to their careers. It's something that we never forget, and we will always wish that there would have been a better way for them to ride off into the sunset, pouring rain. Before we unveil our list, we want you to know that our criteria requires the athlete's retirement to essentially follow a heartbreaking loss, injury, poor performance, or all of the above. I'm Andy Ruther, and here are 9 great athletes whose careers ended under such depressing circumstances. At number 9, Randy Moss. If not for Jerry Rice, there'd be no debate as to who the best receiver ever is. Randy Moss racked up 982 career receptions for 15,292 yards and 156 touchdowns. He led the NFL in touchdowns 5 times, was a 6-time Pro Bowler, and will one day be in Canton. After playing for 3 teams in the 2010 season, Moss sat out 2011 and joined the San Francisco 49ers in 2012, and the team marched all the way to Super Bowl 47. Moss had a chance to retire with the ring, but he managed just 2 catches on 5 targets for 41 yards as his 49ers lost 34-31 to the Baltimore Ravens. At number 8, Joe SAKIC. The greatest player in Colorado Avalanche history didn't need much time to put hockey on the map in the Mile High City. He guided the team to a Stanley Cup championship during the team's first year playing in Denver. SAKIC also guided the Avs to a 2001 Stanley Cup title, and they made the playoffs all but 2 years with Burnaby Joe on the roster. The perennial All-Star had 625 career goals and 1,641 points. And in the 2008-09 season, a back injury and a trio of broken fingers forced him to suit up in just 15 games. Burnaby Joe surprisingly announced his retirement the following summer, so fans didn't get to see one of the NHL's great icons receive the proper send-off he deserved. At number 7, Patrick Waugh. Arguably the most dominant and greatest goaltender of all time, Waugh won 2 Stanley Cups with the Montreal Canadiens and added 2 more with the Avalanche. Waugh, an 11-time All-Star and 3-time Vezina Trophy winner as the NHL's top goalie, led his Avalanche to the Pacific Division title in 2003. They faced off against the Minnesota Wild in round 1 of the playoffs. However, Andrew Brunette scored in overtime of Game 7 to pull off the shocking upset, and Waugh never played another NHL game again. That's a pity, because he recorded 35 wins and a .920 save percentage in his last year. He clearly still had it. At number 6, TRACY McGrady, a 7-time All-Star who will no doubt be in the Hall of Fame one day. T-Mac just didn't have the support to guide the Houston Rockets squad to any NBA championships. For a guy who averaged 19.6 points and 5.6 rebounds per game, few players deserved a ring like McGrady did. As his best days were well behind him, he joined the star-studded San Antonio Spurs in 2013 for one more shot at the elusive ring. We all know how they let that one slip away, and T-Mac never played another game. At number 5, Kurt Warner. Warner went from a grocery store self-stocking guy to a star NFL quarterback. He helped the St. Louis Rams win Super Bowl 34 with MVP honors of that game. Warner was a 4-time Pro Bowler who won 2 NFL MVPs. He finished with 208 career touchdowns, 32,344 passing yards, and a 65.5% completion percentage, cementing his legacy as one of the NFL's best quarterbacks ever. His Arizona Cardinals fell just short of winning Super Bowl 43, and he returned the following season. However, the Cards were destroyed by the New Orleans Saints in the divisional round, losing 45-14. Warner was injured and had to stop playing in the 4th quarter and never played another down again. At number 4, another quarterback, this time Brett Favre. Favre's 508 career touchdowns and 71,838 passing yards ranked 2nd all-time, only behind Peyton Manning. He was a 3-time NFL MVP and Super Bowl champion. Sadly, Favre spent the last few years of his NFL career contemplating and coming out of retirement. After his Minnesota Vikings narrowly missed out on reaching Super Bowl 44, he came back for one last year at age 40. During a 2010 game against the Chicago Bears, Favre suffered a concussion and never played again. He was awful in his last year and betrayed his beloved Packers by joining the Vikings in the first place. He would have been better off just sticking with his 2008 retirement decision. At number 3, Jackie Smith. Jackie Smith was the best tight end ever before Tony Gonzalez and Rob Gronkowski came along. After years of playing for a not-so-great Cardinals franchise, he joined the Dallas Cowboys in the 1978 season in hopes of winning that elusive Super Bowl. With his team trailing the Pittsburgh Steelers by a touchdown in the Super Bowl, Smith dropped an easy touchdown pass. Dallas settled for a field goal and wound up losing by 4, so his drop was the difference maker. Smith opted to retire that year, giving him a heartbreaking send-off. At number 2, Joe Theismann. Theismann quarterbacked the Washington Redskins to a Super Bowl XVII championship and was the 1983 NFL MVP. He reached a pair of Pro Bowls and tossed 160 touchdowns and 25,206 career passing yards. Theismann was on his way to even more greatness with Washington until a 1985 game against the New York Giants when Theismann broke his leg after Lawrence Taylor and Harry Carson sacked him. The injury was so horrific that the 36-year-old had to retire, even though he had plenty left in the tank. At number 1, Zinedine Zidane. The greatest French soccer player ever guided France to the 1998 World Cup and was a 3-time FIFA World Player of the Year. He helped France reach the 2006 World Cup final against Italy, but was sent off in extra time for headbutting Marco Materazzi after the Italian defender allegedly insulted his sister. France lost in penalty kicks, and Zidane was great in those. His send-off was a tragic one, considering he was defending his family. Which athlete do you think deserved a better send-off? Join us in the comments below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton and we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to Total Pro Sports, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.